Well, it's quite possible that the UK wanted to get its decisions out before COP10 so it could discuss them at COP10. Um, I mean, many of the delegates at COP10 and the WHO will welcome any sense in which the UK has reversed its pro harm reduction policy, because in many ways the UK was seen out as a holdout against the WHO orthodoxy, which is fundamentally wrong and flawed right from top to bottom. But what this will allow them to do is to have a much more comfortable COP where it looks as though everybody's coming on side to decide that vaping is generally not a good thing, or it comes with all these unwanted risks.
Janine, do you think tobacco control has become the new big tobacco?
I will speak to what I said earlier. Where's the parade? There's no celebration that so many people are quitting smoking by vaping. There's not a parade, there's not a tuba, there's no confetti, there's nothing. In fact, they just continue to dig to try to find the worst thing possible, which tells me, at first I have to sit back and think, well, why are they doing this? Oh, because if there's no smoking, they've done their job. Pat yourself on the back, you've done an amazing job, and take credit where credit is due and move on, but they're not.
Where does one start when thinking about COP10? We, as a whole, people who are harm reduction advocates, the main issues were postponed to 2025. That's good. But watching that and seeing the way those people at the dais were responding to countries that wanted to discuss harm reduction and wanted to promote it, that was very disheartening and it made me angry. Honestly, it made me angry because harm reduction is intrinsically part of what they're supposed to be doing.
Nicotine, for some reason, there's this stigma around it, and that's where the whole thing seems to fall apart. If they could realize there are different ways of just prescription products from helping you to quit smoking, and that if you continue to use nicotine, it's not really that much of a big thing. If they could get that into theirs, it should be a simple enough concept, but it seems that politicians don't understand it. But if they could just get that concept into their heads, then perhaps we could have many more countries that embrace reduced risk products. I mean, we're seeing in the EU that the Netherlands and Belgium, I think, are planning to ban nicotine pouches, and yet they're foregoing a very good opportunity to help more smokers quit. And Sweden recognises that, and it did very well in 1995 to make sure that it didn't have to fall into EU prohibitions on those products, because it's a natural experiment across Europe, and Sweden is winning by a country mile. So why other countries don't understand this, I don't know. I don't know.
So if you look at trends of youth smoking, young adult smoking, even older adult smoking, smoking is declining faster than we would have expected 10 years ago. And so that's a huge effect. Anything that reduces smoking rates is definitely a win for public health. So and that is, it's hard to exactly attribute that to e-cigarette use. Could be due to other tobacco control efforts, but consistently in the US and in several other countries across different regulatory environments, what we see is that in the groups that are uptaking e-cigarette use the most, they have the largest declines in smoking, to the extent that it's sort of unprecedented in many cases.